there is a scene when they make a discovery towards the end of the film. Instead of kind of like, fuck, I'm gonna show her. Kind of the classic hero. If you tell a story about people, you will unavoidably end up with a political film. So the pressure, so many people said it. At the press screening or the...
Yeah, press screening.
Yeah.
Camera is rolling.
It's so funny because I live in Hong Kong, and I'm from Taiwan.
Yeah.
And the situation is the scene. I'm looking at this film, I'm like, this is made in Brazil. I'm sorry, if you don't mind.
Without glasses?
Yeah, it's better to see your eyes.
Alright.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this film, I'm like, this is in Brazil, but really, this story is happening all the time in Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, where I'm
Demolition,
from.
destruction.
Yeah. Property, prices, and people looking for places to live. But anyway, I want to talk about the process that you guys did on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Like, whose idea was it to do that?
The idea began to take shape through a group on Facebook made up of filmmaking people, Brazilian filmmakers, who would be in Cannes for the festival, for meetings and things like that. And then, of course, they asked if we would do something for the Montée des Marches, for Aquarius. And I thought it made sense because the political situation now in Brazil needs at least to be made aware. And Cannes, of course, has so many cameras, a lot of them with very long lenses. And we thought that, we could do something that would be just a gesture, nothing very complicated or noisy, just a piece of paper. Quiet little thing, and then hopefully the cameras will pick up.
Right. You got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that I understand that you guys are you supporting the president, or are you just, or do you just disapprove of the way that she was?
First of all, I disapprove of everything that's been happening over the last 6 months in terms of basically the opposition went mad because they have been away from power for 13 years. They've lost every general election over the last 13 years since 2002, and they got restless, and they basically sabotaged a government which was already kind of weak from Dilma Rousseff. And I voted for her, but she was doing a mediocre job with, being a president. But that's no reason to kick her out, especially when she's honest. And, they had hundreds of people trying to uncover whatever, wrongdoings she might have had, and they have been 100% unsuccessful. She's clean. And the people who are doing this to her, they're actually dirty. And that includes even her vice president, who now came into power. And so nothing in the story makes any sense if you look at it from the Constitution, the law. If you're a citizen who respects democracy, it's a completely senseless situation.
Right. And so, I didn't know about it until I saw the protest on the red carpet.
That's one of the things that I think was great.
And I have to say again, I feel like and then I read up on it, and I feel like I'm also from Taiwan. We just elected our first female president in January. And I voted for her. I hope that she does a good job. I feel like what's going on in Brazil is kind of like a growing pain of a democracy.
Growing pain? Yeah, but if you told me 1 year ago that this would happen, I would have told you it's not like that. Brazil's democracy is more mature than that. But no, everything that's happened was deconstructed any notion that democracy was getting to an interesting place. But it's too much of a growing pain when you have an honest president impeached and thrown out.
Right.
And I can't ignore the fact that I think there might be something also because she's a woman. You know, it's kind of you can read it between the lines.
Right.
Not only in memes on Facebook, but even the way other politicians talk about her. So the whole thing is kind of very unpleasant and nasty.
Right. But so going forward, how do you hope that
I'm sorry?
Going forward, how do you hope that situation? I don't know.
Nobody really knows because now the country is in a terrible state because the idea of democracy has been broken. We have a corrupt / idiot as the vice president, and his new what you call staff, for ministries and things like that. They are probably the worst names for each area. And they also extinguished last week the Ministry of Culture. They're rethinking a lot of political measures that came from Lula and Dilma, which were very socially interesting and relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a right-wing mentality with a vengeance coming in. It's not just right-wing, it's right-wing with a vengeance.
Well, it sounds very complicated, very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to follow up on what's happening in Brazil.
Yeah.
But congratulations on the film. And but the plot of the film, how often does it happen in your life?
Well, I mean, I have been saying that this is a film movie. I mean, it is a film, but a lot of it only takes place in the realm of cinema. So it is enhanced, I think, for dramatic purposes, particularly with the use of camera and sound, and it's a film that belongs to cinema. But of course, I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, I myself live in a small, older building, but when I say old, I mean you're from Thailand. When I say older, you probably think what? 1910? No, it's from 1972. This older building I live in, and I have received. All my neighbors have received envelopes under the door from some law firm who represents a construction company whose name we will not divulge at this point. And they have plans for that plot. And would we like to sit down and discuss these plans? So, that was another thing that made me want to write the script because I got that envelope. So it happens all the time because the city is a mess in terms of organization, in terms of urbanism. And instead of building over there where you have space, they want this place because you can just tear it down and build a new enterprise.
Right. I mean, the story follows the female character. As these events are happening, is there a reason why you wanted to base the story on from the point of view of her, 7-something-year-old?
The point of view of?
About she's like 60.
Yeah. But what's the question?
Is there a reason why you wanted to tell the story from the point of view of older woman?
I wanted somebody who would be older because it would extend the timeline of the film. Because if I do a film with a 25-year-old, the timeline is kind of limited because the person is too young. But with 65 or 70, we can go back and do the opening segment, for example, and it feels like it's far away enough in the past to look like the past. Um, and also, when I bring in Aunt Lucia in 1980, I can also extend the timeline to the film, for the film, way back into a past where Clara is not going to be, but young Aunt Lucia is going to be, in her memories. So in my mind, the film begins in 1980. We get glimpses of maybe 1948, goes back to 1980, and goes over to 2015, to the present. And there is one moment in the film where I think the 70s, the present, and the future happen in three. I think it's 5 seconds. 3 cuts, which is when the maid comes back, the black maid. So, and because she's a woman, I don't know. I just write characters who are women. It seems maybe I find it more interesting and more complex, more challenges, I think, to write a woman.
And the casting was so good.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk about
It was great, really. She's she's like Sophia Loren or somebody who belongs to popular culture in terms of Brazilian culture, which means she's always been part of my life, although I only met her last June for the first time. Amazing face, amazing presence, amazing screen, very, very aware of the camera and knowing how to work the camera. She knows lights, but that's technical stuff. The crazy thing about Sonia is that she's an amazing person and completely in sync with the script and with the ideas of the script. And she's become a friend after this whole experience.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching her.
And she's beautiful.
She was like in every frame on the outside.
Yeah.
So that was especially really fun.
Yeah.
My last question is with the Olympics.
The what?
Olympics.
Yeah.
How do you think it's gonna, if the situation at home, either, the social issue that there's going to be, or even the political situation, how do you think that's gonna? Do you think it will have any kind of effect at all?
No. In fact, it has already some very serious effects in Rio. That's where the Olympics are going to. I don't live in Rio. I live in Recife, but I know people who are already making films and documenting some of the urban atrocities that have been committed to make way for the Olympics. And it involves quite a lot of demolition also. So it's very complicated. The World Cup was quite traumatic in that sense because they built stadiums which did not need to be built, and they were completely unrealistic in terms of the future. It's almost like they put up a tent made of concrete, which cost I think each stadium might have cost 700 million reais or dollars, I'm not sure. And they were used for like 2 weeks. And then the World Cup was over, and they're just there, and nobody knows what to do with them because they're highly sophisticated stadiums built, to meet FIFA's standards, which are not Brazilian stadium standards. And it was a disaster because so much money was spent in stadiums that don't work. But with the Olympics, let's see. But a lot of people were displaced. Is that the word? A lot of people were displaced to make way for, buildings and things like that for the Olympics. And I think we'll be hearing a lot from Rio in the coming months until the games happen.
Sure, and congratulations again on your film. It's great that there's something that I really got my attention in this part of the world.
That's great.
So that's a lot of
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you want to see your own life, your own what happened.
And are you based in LA now, or do you still?
LA?
No, do you
No.
Sorry, you're based in
No.
Rio?
Yeah, New York.
Oh, New York.
Yes, New York.
I lived a long time
In New York? In
Long,
LA?
Long Island.
Ah, Long Island, yeah.
That's where I grew up.
Yeah. You're from Long Island?
No, my family's from Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never been there.
Oh, it's
I
beautiful.
really want to go
I
in
actually
there.
was telling the director that the story and the film, it's so true in Taiwan.
In Taiwan, right? Because it's collapsing, right? The buildings.
Yes, and the property prices are going up. And also what's very similar about Taiwan is that Taiwan, we just elected our first female president in
Yes,
January.
yes, exactly.
And I voted for her. I have such high hopes for her.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope she does a good job and nothing like, what's happening in Brazil will happen.
Yeah. You know what's happening in Brazil, it's even hard for us to understand completely. Of course, it's like a maneuver to take over the government. Because if it was something clean, not people so corrupt doing this, you could think at least twice about it. But like 50% of the people that stay in government, that's running the country right now, are corrupted.
Yeah.
Proved.
Yeah.
Proved.
It's sad because when I read about
It's sad. It's totally sad. And to see a country like Brazil divided, a young democracy like we are. We're a very young democracy. We just get out of dictatorship. It's like only 20 years to rebuild the country. It's not too much. And so the secret will be how to get together again, how we're gonna connect together again and do how we did, the steps that we did towards democracy was all together in the streets, pleading for voting together, do everything we did together. That's very important to get that sense again of togetherness.
Right.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys made your statement on the red carpet last night, but you don't mind that, that it took, the attention a little bit away from the film to bring up this bigger message.
No, I don't think it took it away from the film. I think, I'm going to explain this is in a very strange way. That some people think that when we're doing a movie, we're not breathing. We're human beings, we're breathing, we have a life. And especially this group of people, especially in Recife, they are very, very active in the city with the culture. I mean, Kleber runs the film festival. He does so many things amazing, but especially politically too. So they are. I say they are because I don't live there. I wish I did move there a long time ago. And they have this connection, and from that connection, with that view, this movie was made. Not doing this movie about this because when he wrote the movie, it was about 2 years ago. The movie we did a year ago. This is happening now. So it's because they sense what's going on in the country. We all did. This, you can feel the pressure. You can feel the this thing moving towards you. One time I was trying to explain the situation, like maybe for some people, you know, if you are at the beach and look at the, the waves, and they go and come back, you're okay. If they go and come back again, you're okay. Third time, you're okay. But if they start going away, going away, going away, going away, run. It is a tsunami coming. So we were being seen for a long time. This is moving away. It's moving away. We tried to say things, to protest, to sue people and everything, but we couldn't grab the attention of everybody.
Right.
That's what I think happened. And you know, the press, in a way, the press that takes more people watch is really biased, and very rich people.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, but you know, when I was watching the film, like I said, how the story, even though it happened in Brazil, it holds true in so many, you know, countries.
yes,
Like in Asia. I mean,
yes.
it's one of the things that, you know.
Yeah, that, you know, something the other, and then because of the tsunami, I say, wouldn't that be the reflex of the tsunami that they said is going to be something happening because the atomic plant that's going to reflect to, and we never felt it. Maybe that's what it is.
Interesting.
Who knows?
Yeah. But,
Because it is not just Brazil. I live in the United States. See what's happening in the U.S. You know, with the elections and everything. It's very scary.
and because you live mostly in the U.S., do you think that it's important for you to go back to Brazil to make a film like this that touches upon an important social issue?
I think it's always good to talk about the subject. That subject attract me in always.
Right.
You know, I always want to know what's happening in my neighborhood. There was a time I think, why they don't divide the cities by neighborhood? And the people from the neighborhood takes care of the neighborhood. Not leave trash, not to have homeless, you know, in the neighborhood. And takes care, plant things, you know. So I had this idea as a citizen, like, would it be much better because we, instead of we think about the other state over there, what's happening over there right now. No, everybody would take care of the neighborhood, and then every neighborhood would be so perfect because it will be our neighborhood.
Yeah.
No cars.
Yeah, that would be nice.
For me, no cars. Thank you.
Maybe when I watched the film, I really liked
But
it.
don't you think it's a good idea?
Huh? I
Don't
think
you
that's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, that would be good. Hard to implement, but I don't know.
Very hard to implement.
But I loved your performance, and I was
Thank
saying
you.
to the director that you were in practically every frame, and you
Yes.
carried the film. And
Yes.
What was your favorite scene to film?
Oh, I think every scene, it is important to me because one is they when the movie starts is in the past, right? But since I start is like a train that doesn't stop, you know. So if I take one scene that's thinking that this is better than the other one, this one doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And the editing of this movie is like amazing too. Yeah. So I can. Well, I could. There was something that I laugh about, maybe.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what
I
it
love
was.
the last scene where she came in and she just threw things down on the table.
Oh, well. But you know, there's one right before that one when I come out of the ocean that leads to the end. That they cut, and then there's another image. I mean, the photography in this movie is so good. It's so moving to see the great photography in the movie telling this story. We all walk together, you know, it's like, and the knowledge that a Kleber has, and then the all the crew actually, you know, they knew every scene and they understood every scene and they participated of every little thing. We cried together, we laughed together, we were like running together, you know, it's like it was pretty amazing. I've never been to a movie set where everybody participate in that kind of depth, you know. And I think Kleber and Emily is the producer in Brazil, and his wife. They have this ability and Kleber to put the people together that just agree, you know, with everything. Like, did you meet Humberto Carrão, the one that played the bad guy?
Oh, no.
He's totally the opposite of that, you know? He's like opposite, you know, if you talk to him, you go, really? But because he's so the opposite of that, he understands that character so much because he has seen that so much, you know? And he doesn't like this so much, this attitude of these rich people, you know, like treating Brazil like who are you poor people, you know.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, like how Kleber put this people all together, and we ran so smooth. It was a smooth ride.
And about your character, like how much do you identify with her? You know, when I see you, I feel like you are Clara, who's very tenacious. And
yeah, when I read the screenplay, I say, the feeling that I had was that, you know, I'm very articulate, but because I think too much, I think too fast, sometimes even the thoughts cannot come to my mouth. That's why sometimes, to me, metaphor are better, so I can explain everything in one sentence. But what I found when I read the screenplay, I found like everything that it was exploding inside of me, my feelings, everything about the violence against people, you know, and what you saw in the movie, it was like Kleber wrote the words and made a platform to be, for me, to talk about what I really want to talk about. So, because so well written, you know. So, what it was, the image that I had the other day, like, you know, the president normally doesn't write his own speech. There's somebody's writing the most important speech, a collaborator. So Kleber became my collaborator for my life of this, what I have to say, that it was very meaningful, very important to me, and hopefully will change something.
well, congratulations. I think
Thank you so much. Good luck to you.
D'aujourd'hui, de cette société qui est devenue